Hey, welcome to another Businessology lesson, and we're going to talk about developing healthy remote teams. We have been remote as a firm with our team spread out all over the U.S. For over a decade, so a long time ago, really before cloud-based products for our industry really were solid and ready to be used. So now we have tons of choices of cloud-based, or what we call browser-based technology. So it's gotten a lot easier than when we first went virtual a long time ago. So the first thing that's really important about building a culture is to know intentionally what kind of culture you're building. So a lot of times we'll consult with service-based companies, and they're either remote or they're in, brick and mortar or in person or on premise, however you want to say that. Some are hybrid. And so some are hybrid in a lot of different senses. Hybrid could mean we don't define this. You can work remote if you want, or we do have an office and you can come to that office. So that's hybrid by choice of the employee. Or it could be hybrid as defined by the company. The company says Mondays and Fridays, we all come into the office. That's when we need to be together for particular meetings. And then you are going to be virtual Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you can define hybrid in a lot of ways. We will say that being either one or the other is easiest. Being completely remote or being completely in office are the easiest models, right? Because you're not fighting who likes what, and you're not making some like some of it and not like the other parts. Hybrid basically means some people are going to be doing something they like and sometimes something they may not like, just depending on their preferences. So a defined model, team model, is always better. It's just always clearer. That's why. But you can make healthy remote-based decisions. And here's a couple things we do to make sure our remote team stay healthy. And one of those is really a cultural focus. We would love for people to say at least weekly or biweekly that the team is meeting with a cultural focus. And that basically means there is one meeting every week or every other week where the team comes together just to focus on the culture of the team. So we typically will avoid client-related conversations in those meetings because those will bog us down. We're trying to learn about each other. So we'll have our team come together. They actually lead these cultural meetings, and they do a game up front, and that's just a way where we learn about each other. Like, what's your favorite hobby? We'll go around and talk about it. But we also do some laundry list things where Julie and I, my partner, or our leadership team may say, hey, here's some things just keep in mind for the firm. It's open enrollment for insurance. So, if you want, to think about insurance, we're going to be sending you that information. So it's just really a place to make company announcements. But it's also a time to center this team around our core values. So we take time to do core value call outs in these weekly team meetings. Our team meetings are weekly that are culture-based. And core value call-outs are where you're looking at the list of core values on the screen in the slide deck that the team prepared. And we're trying to find somebody that exhibited some of those core values. So we're basically saying, I want to call out Julie because she really exhibited this core value specifically when she did this thing with a client or the team last week. Way to go. That really shows us how to do it. And at first, if you start implementing these culture-based meetings, we've always found them to be a little odd. They're just weird. People don't know how to participate in them. They're kind of fluffy, right? You start to feel these are a little bit fluffy. We're wanting people to be emotional and talk about, each other, that we care about each other. But this is what we do as humans. We actually care about the people, or we should care about the people we're in relationships with. So it's important to push people into that place. But it does get easier once you do this habitually, and we always like to do it on a rhythm. We want to build culture on a rhythm. And that basically means we want to have this culture-based team meeting at the same time, same day every week. So every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, that is when we have our meeting. Nobody wonders if we're having it. It's just locked into place. And so that rhythm just calls everybody into the rhythm, and the culture just happens on its own. And it's just a wonderful thing to hear the team going around and just praising the team. You often learn things that team were doing in meetings that you weren't in, you didn't hear, you didn't know. And so they're sharing these great things that they did, and you can just celebrate. It's like, oh my God, that is amazing that you did that in that meeting. And you just never would have heard that if you hadn't had this culture-based meeting. So basically, we want this culture-based meeting to really strengthen the team and remind them you're still part of what we call a community. We don't call our team a family because not everybody has the right view or perspective of a family, or they don't have the same view or perspective of what that phrase family means. So we call our team a community, and we say you're here by choice. You can come every day, and you can leave, right? Nobody's holding you here. You're not stuck, at Thanksgiving dinner with people that are, odd like me. So you're with people you're choosing to be with that you want to work with. So really good stuff. And, driving a cultural rhythm really helps a team grow close together, enjoy each other. And then you start to find them doing things like caring for each other, pitching in, helping when the other one's hurting, encouraging when they feel down. So you start to get a lot of those benefits that really make being with other people really, really valuable. And then when you lead a company in a healthy way around core values, what you're doing is you're honoring and respecting each other. You're fighting off a lot of the weirdness that may or may not be in some people's families, or just the sheer dysfunction that you find in a lot of families. In a culture-based company, a really healthy culture-based company, you don't have to put up with that, right? You don't have to put up with those weird things, dishonor, disrespect, saying things, passive aggressiveness, gaslighting, these kind of things. I'm listing all these things that families may do. We do these as people. But in a company, you can establish a culture that doesn't allow for those. It demands respect and honor. And that's just a beautiful place to go to, a community where you can get a lot of the benefit of the value of other people. And it really can prop you up. It can make you professionally grow too. So those are some ways we keep strong, healthy teams. I guess I would say the first thing you want to do is define. Can you define specifically, we're going to be full-on virtual, we're going to be full-on in the office, or at least define hybrid as much as you can. Try to not let it be loose. The more loose things, the more loose cultural conversations and structures leave interpretation open to team, and that's when confusion comes. And when a services-based company is confused, people start getting their feelings hurt, or they start doing things that you didn't anticipate that they would do. So those are the things to keep in mind when you are building a strong virtual team.